The Infect deck that Tom Ross is playing is just a super fast blitz style deck where he's going to be laying down the Infect damage with tons of pump spells. Again, one of these decks that's looking to win on the first 3 turns of the game. And then Alex Cadieux, the Nick Fit deck, it's essentially this, it's kind of like a ramp deck that packs a lot of disruption and card advantage. And so you can look at it as a creature-based control deck in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it wants to try and utilize Veteran Explorer as a way to exploit the fact that not many people have basic lands in their deck. But like the big card that I want to look at here, that it looks like there are 3 copies in his main for Alex, is he has 3 copies of Pernicious Deed.
Yeah, that is a big deal.
Which have the potential to be very, very good against Tom's deck.
Yeah, and he also has cards like Cabal Therapy, which can be quite good against these combo type decks. Even though Tom Ross is playing a deck based on creatures, it really is a combo deck, and that's the way that you can think about it. Wow, and this Nick Fit deck has a ton of sweet cards in it. It's got a Siege Rhino, it's got a Thrun the Last Troll,
Sigarda, Host of Herons.
It's got an Intrepid Hero in the sideboard.
Tireless Tracker.
Really? Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. With Veteran Explorer?
Yeah, that's really sweet.
That's
really
get 2
cool.
lands and draw 2 cards with my clues. Man, so we're going to have the Battle of the Invitational Winter Tokens with Tom Ross's Poison token and McVady's Clue token. Tom is going to start off by getting in for 1 point of Infect damage with his Nexus. He's going to use Submerge to put that Deathrite Shaman on top of Alex's deck.
Which is kind of nice because Alex can do a lot with a little bit of extra mana. His deck can snowball in terms of how much stuff it has on the board between Veteran Explorer and Deathrite Shaman. So this is a good way for Tom to slow down Alex in a big way.
Yep, Alex is going to go ahead and Thoughtseize Tom here. Tom's going to daze it. Alex does not have a second land.
Wow, so submerging that Deathrite Shaman was a big deal.
Yeah. Looks like Tom has a copy of Invigorate in his hand, so that's what he's protecting from the Thoughtseize. He's just going to play a Noble Hierarch and pass. If he can find a pump spell, he can actually just kill Alex next turn.
Yeah. And this was a game where Tom was on the play. And for these extremely linear, fast, combo-orientated decks, this is one of the classic things that they do, is they just win game 1 because their opponent doesn't have the right, doesn't have access to their sideboard cards in game 1, and then likely lose game 2 when they're on the draw and their opponent has brought in their sideboard, but then get a shot at closing out the match in game 3 where the linear aggro deck gets to be on the play.
Well, that Thoughtseize is going to take the Invigorate out of Tom's hand, but he picked up another copy of Noble Hierarch here, so he's going to be able to play a Noble, activate his Inkmoth Nexus, and get in for 3 points of poison, which is going to put Alex on a clock that'll just end this game in a couple turns.
Yeah.
So Probe's going to reveal Green Sun Zenith, Cabal Therapy,
a stacked hand, but it really needs more mana.
Veteran Explorer. That looks like a New Art Vindicate, Deathrite Shaman, and Dramoka's Command.
Oh, I like the Dramoka's Command. Played 4 of those ever since they were printed.
Sacrifice your Counterbalance.
Love that card.
All right, so Tom's going to pick up another copy of Daze off of his Probe. Noble Hierarch, activate Nexus, crash in for 3. Going to take Alex up to 4 poison. He's got 2 turns.
Yep, 2-turn clock. And Alex really wants to draw a land here. And this Infect deck really doesn't have much interaction. Even Submerge, it's just a card out of the sideboard. There's usually not many cards like that. So Alex keeping a 1-land hand with Deathrite Shaman is 100% acceptable.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just not working out for him. Tom had the Submerge, which is unlikely, and then when Alex finally tried to recast the Deathrite Shaman, Tom had access to the Daze.
Yeah, so he dazed another Deathrite Shaman. It's like he picked up a Blighted Agent, so he can just crash in for 3 here, and then play out a couple more creatures if he wants to.
Yeah, and
it's going to bring Alex up to 7 poison.
Pretty grim for Alex. He's just on a 1-turn clock.
He's just going to play a Glistener Elf. And
Wow, and he draws for the turn, doesn't see a land, just has to concede to Tom Ross, knows that he's going to win. He has the board on kill. And Tom Ross, the legend, the man, the leather jacket, continues.
He's got it on. He's going to take this match 2-1 over Alex Cadieux. Yep. Alex, your deck is super sweet. Happy to see you.
Yeah, I really hope we see Alex do more.
Yeah, I hope he can do well.